Hey everyone. So today we are going to talk with the Bhanu and Team Visual, like our own baby, and how we started the Team Visual thing, how I met with the Bhanu, and we will go. I don't have any script or like something like that. Okay, we will go this, but I just want to keep that completely free flow conversation. And yeah, let's start. Hey, hi Bhanu, how are you?
Hey, Ankur. I'm good. How are you?
I'm perfectly awesome. Yeah, so today we are going to talk about how we started the team visual and how I met you.
Yeah, let's talk about it. But team visual was much later. I,
Yeah,
I mean, was never in the picture to be honest, right? We just started as a random conversation. Maybe you can start how it began, and then I'll continue from there.
yeah, okay. So, just one second. So whoever don't know, like I have started my no code career. I think 2 year back, and with the app Giver and Jano. My first tool was app Giver. What was your tool, Banu? First tool?
Mine was Adalo.
Adalo. Okay. So my first tool was AppGyver, and I started cloning the Coursera. So Coursera is like a online course, like marketplace sort of something same similar to Udemy, but I think more focus on research oriented, more focus on theoretical stuff, and not very cool like you learn JavaScript and all this sort of thing, but very college focused. Okay, what is the AI, ML, and all. So I was trying to build a clone of it, and then like I started my own product building on. So basically, app driver I feel a lot of complex, lots complex. Like I just feel like it's better to I just directly dive into the coding stuff and build the Android app because I know the Android development and all. So I thought, yeah, it's taking too much complex. Then I figuring out a lot other tools. So I got on the bubble and I started building product over this like typical developer mentality. Okay, build something, try something, scrap that project, move on to the next, just move on, create app, one app and all. So and in between, I build a one product idea that is hire the verified, and then I try to sell it. I think I sold it for like a 3 to 6 month. I think build to sold. I think it's a complete 6 month journey, but I didn't get any sales out of it. So I just scrapped it completely. Then I start building, but I like the bubble platform. I like a quite like okay what I can do. What and at the time I didn't know ki, okay bubble supports a database like and I then I tried the Geno. Geno was very early at that time, so I build my hire the verified app using Bubble plus Geno. Geno as a like database and API calling, and Bubble as a front end. So all the people who are doing right now like Bubble, Geno, I already done that, and because I don't know, okay, there is something called database already exists in the Bubble, but
But why did you get started with no code in the first place?
okay, no
You
code
know,
in the
I mean, you mentioned that you are already an Android developer, right? Let
yeah.
people know why you actually picked up no code.
Okay, so the real reason was like I know mobile development. Like I can easily learn the iOS development. That is not a big issue for me, and it never was. But when I went to the web technology like React, Angular, HTML, CSS, it's like I feel like it's a lot complex. And I tried like in the last 5 to 6 years before even jumping on the no code, I tried learning it. I even starting my coding career from the HTML, CSS, but it somehow didn't never like I don't like it because I need to make a like I really struggle with the responsive part and the way the bootstrap libraries I need to insert and all. It I just feel literally lot complex. Like you need to for each screen you have to take care, but in mobile you don't really have to do that because there is very limited screen size because you work with 320 pixel width to 480. There's a like a highest and lowest screen sizes. But in the term of web, it's quite complex. Like you have to handle 1660 pixel to 320 because someone in Australia like visiting your website in mobile, like tiny mobile. Someone in India and visiting a website in a large screen. So that's a too complex for me to understand. And then I always have a itch for like building software. Like okay, I should cover end to end, and I even tried Kotlin because at that time Kotlin is for the mobile development, but
Hmm.
they are moving towards the web development also. Like you just build for the once, and it automatically convert into the web and all. I just find it quite
Oh, okay.
fascinating. Okay, I can just write a one coding language and that's it. And but at the time it's very beta, like literally very beta. Like I think alpha before alpha something sort of that. So that's why I just always ever like okay, let's try the web technology and all. So that way I just going to figure out what is the other alternative. And one of the mentor I have, he has suggested me there's a lot of no code. He suggested me Bix.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I
mine is a very interesting journey, right? So I was trying to build an idea with a friend, something in the gifting space. We together put some money into it, hired a development
how much? How
agency.
much?
Uh, let's not talk into that. It's a decent amount. It's
I just
embarrassing
want to
to.
I just want to how much you have to like how much money have you just vanished?
It's quite big, substantial amount to be honest.
Okay.
Luckily, in the other members who were part of this idea also put some money, but we ended up losing almost all of it. Partly because I mean changing the development teams because of the quality, not so quality output, and then because you are by interacting with the market as when the product was launched, we wanted to rapidly iterate on the product, which was getting more and more expensive
So
with the
you
development.
hired a team in India?
Yeah,
Okay.
like three different teams in a span of 1.5, I think 1 year. But the ideas were getting slower and slower because every time we ask for a change, it gets delayed, and then the market feedback was not um, helping much with this development cycle. That's when I figured out to understand what developers speak, which is my daily job, right? In my profession as a product manager, I need to work with developers, make sure stuff gets delivered, and then continuously interact with the customers and improve on the product. So technically, I'm able to understand what they're speaking, what can be done, and so on. So I try to push myself one step ahead and say, let me start coding now. So
Okay.
I started with JavaScript, but I mean, failed miserably because I was not able to spend as much time as, but at the same time, code sometimes gets over my head. That's when I figured out no-code platforms. Bubble, I heard of it actually 3 years ago.
So
Four.
somebody has told you like there is a no code tool, or you just curious enough like going on the Google and
No,
just
this is
found.
interesting, Yani, right? So I was trying to look at startup perks out there because we already spent so much money. So I was trying to save money, getting AWS credits, getting these credits, getting those credits, and so on. Luckily, I ended up getting credits for Adalo in one of those startup credits platform. So it's a 6 months free. So I said, okay, I have 6 months now free. Let me utilize the 6 months and make sure I build something in this platform.
Uh,
If it doesn't work out, doesn't work out. But I don't want to spend more money now because I have tried all the options. I've been trying, so I don't want to burn any more wallet. Let me try this. Then I stuck with Adalo for 6 months. I said, okay, every day, 2 hours, next 6 months, because I have full time job also, weekends, little more time, every day, 2 hours, 6 months, see if I can put out something. Fortunately or unfortunately, that startup credit program really turned uh, my thing around completely, like 360 degrees.
oh,
And then within, I think, days, Adalo got into me like so much. Then I started contributing to the forum. I ended up becoming the community leader in the forum, and they call me an expert. I don't know if it is true or not, but I ended up helping a lot of people there, including some startups who actually got funded after their MVP. So during their MVP stage, I helped them to bring their idea to life, and they went on to get funded, and now they're doing well. So that's where my no code journey started. But Adalo is heavily mobile focused. Everybody knows it. And then if you want to do external API thing and so on, complex, you start to get limited. That's when Xano came, and I really fell in love with Xano for two reasons. One is I was trying to focus on complex logic and complex uh, backend operations kind of ideas. And the second reason is I really am really bad at mobile, or sorry, design basically. So I was trying to do minimal on the front end and build complex logics in the back end. That's where I stumbled into Xano. I really loved it. Spent some time on it. Of course, there's a pause now on that because which I can push to the limits of Xano. So that's why, but I am always willing to go back. Then that's where I again started hitting limitation. Now I wanted to go beyond mobile. Adalo doesn't support. I mean, they support desktop, not fully, partially, but not response. You have to do mobile version, then desktop version, and so on. Then I thought, okay, let me try out another platform. So Bubble to the rescue. Bubble, I think this is the third attempt I'm trying to learn Bubble. First two times because I didn't have basics of no code, I was really struggling. Now that I understand Adalo well, the logic and I mean the way no code platforms are designed, that gave me a little bit edge to get started with Bubble. And then Buildcamp. Buildcamp changed everything. I started taking the subscription of Buildcamp. I saw Greg's Gregory videos from Buildcamp, and I'm done. So this is where I'm going to spend my time, and I've like started digging deeper, and now I can fairly say I'm moderately good at building websites or like web apps. I've been building,
You
and
are like a bubble expert right now.
I don't think I'm still in that stage. I mean, I don't want to call myself as an expert, but I want to maybe call myself as a practitioner, or just want to build continuously.
Modest
Don't
one.
worry about whether expert or not expert. I don't really care. I just want to keep building. I'm really happy now that when I have an idea, I can just build over a weekend. We'll come to that shortly
Yeah,
as we
yeah.
progress.
We will go. We
Okay.
will go. Okay.
That's a little bit background about our no code journey. Okay. When did we meet, Ankur?
So when did we meet? If I remember correctly, I sent you one message on Twitter DM. Like I sent a I was building a one e-commerce template, and that is already on right now on the Bubble plug template store. And I stuck with the some cart logic, I guess. Yes, yes. At that time, I figured out Bubble is a worked by reference, not by value. So in programming, there is a two concept of by value, by call. Yeah. So one is like when you pass one value and you reference it, and whenever you change anything in that value, automatically anyone have a reference of it, it value got changed, and that's what happening in the Bubble. And I was changing into the cart, and my order details are automatically changing out. So I reach out to you and couple of other people and ask for the what is the possible solution, and you instantly help me. And it was like very smart way of managing the database, I guess, and that instantly solved my problem. I think that was the first time I DM you. I think so.
Yeah, I think I think that I mean I honestly I didn't know your name at that point of time. There was some random guy sending a message from NoCode Talks, and then Bubble, which I'm not yet deeply into. I was still in Nadal at that stage. I'm just getting started in Bubble. This is where I was telling you sometime back, right? Once you understand one no-code platform, then you start to realize how these relationships or data mappings work. So when you message me, that's simple logic. You are not about Bubble. That the question was not really about Bubble. It's more about data mapping and data relationship
Yeah,
setup. Yeah, yeah. That was our first interaction.
yeah.
Actually, after that, I think for the next 6 months, I didn't know your name.
We have not even chatted. Like
Yeah, I
after
don't
six
think we
months,
chat. Yeah, then
yeah,
we met
we
up in different platform.
different like foundership
Yeah,
and then
foundership community where Santosh and Bimle started this, and then I don't know how you ended up in that platform.
yeah.
I
So basically, how I get, I, how I, yeah, yeah, yeah. So there is a coffee mug. If you
ah yeah, coffee mug that day. Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. So I frequently go through and meet a lot of people on each Friday. And now I stopped because of the poor quality of the profile they suggest me. So I just I met every one person each Friday, and someone has suggested me because I was building a hire the verified platform, and I was looking help in the marketing of it because my marketing sucks. So someone has suggested, okay, there is a group of the founders, and that is Bangalore based, but you can join, you can ask any question and all. So at the time I joined the group because he invited me in that platform and in that group, and I joined it. And I think after 2 3 months I didn't post anything because, but Santosh I think have posted on the group. Okay, we are launching a no code fellowship like plate. What you can say like no code
Cohort, cohort.
cohort, yeah, cohort. And I got just curious. Okay, let's see, because at that time I got a fairly good understanding of the bubble. Okay, what is bubble? And I didn't know any other platform like much like bubble because I'm very believe okay, pick one platform and go like literally in depth about it. So I Santosh has messaged me to become one of the like a trainer sort of thing. Yeah, trainer
Mentor.
sort of thing, mentor sort of thing. Okay, I happily say okay, and then I think we met on the call and then WhatsApp group and all.
Yeah, that was interesting. That two fellowships which I ran together with Santosh, I met a lot of people, and it actually opened up more doors for me to explore other platforms because until then I was focusing on Adalo plus Bubble. Then I started, if you remember, during the same time I started building Foundership's entire tech stack in a little more edge towards pushing my limits in design and the backend operations as well. But during the those two cohorts which I ran, people wanted to learn Glide, people wanted to learn software. People came up with other things which I didn't really hear. Clapia was one of them.
Clapia, yeah, Clapia.
Enterprise, it's an amazing platform, and it has its own limitations, but it's amazing platform which is like super simply built by Ashutosh. So more and more platforms I started to learn, and then for each of these, the difference fundamentally is more around.
Use
Uh,
case.
I think use case, where do you apply those, the pricing, and the flexibility in terms of UI versus
I just feel
database.
like
But the
pricing is
logic around,
not that very like differentiate.
sorry,
Pricing is not very differentiating factor. I just feel like
pricing is not differentiating factor. I mean, so far, people whom I met, especially in the no code learners, I would say, not experts. Expert from the experts, I was always learning. From the learners who is trying to help or learn from and see what use cases they're trying to solve. Most of the times, price was secondary factor. Primary factor was for them to get their idea out.
yeah.
And good thing is all the no platforms actually lets you build for free before you start going live, except one or two, but pretty much
It's
Bubble,
not.
like you can build entire application without paying a single dollar. Only when you want to go live, just pay and then
Now
go
it's
live.
like a too restricted. You can't even push a live without a paid plan. But earlier there was a hobby plan, and
Ah, yeah.
there was a no database limit.
Uh,
You can actually like push into the production. But I think for the custom app you need to go for the paid plan and all. But
yeah.
because I was having the hobby plan and all, and by mistake I didn't know, okay, if I just downgrade it to like something else, it will just vanish out.
Oh, okay.
So I just missed my like complete hobby plan and all. So yeah. So
Nice. Hmm.
okay, I just want to know how we started this like collaboration basically. I will not
With
say
who?
like
Between us?
you, yeah, between us. How we started, like I think the first
Interesting. See, yeah, and this is always interesting, right? I don't know. I've been interacting with lot of people, and we have interacted last one year heavily after our initial interaction, then foundership, and then last 1 year, various ideas being floating around, random chats, and so on. So one thing which I liked to while interacting with you is even if I mean, if it is never done by you or by me, and one of us gets stuck with this problem, as we start discussing, we sometimes you solve it together, sometimes you go back, think, and say, okay, I solved it, come, let's discuss, and so on. So that I think gave me some, what is a good vibes that okay, we should work together. And if you remember, the first thing which we worked together was outset a plugin.
yeah,
Prior to that, we did work on many ideas, but outset a plugin was a personal use case I was trying to implement for foundership. And then I realized that I can do one-off implementation using API calls, but there seemed a need for a plugin because many people are actually struggling. I saw in OnDeck forum, I saw in Bubble forum, and few other places wants to build a membership. They struggle to build that membership platform, and they wanted to use like Member Stack or Outset, or there are few others. Outset was getting more and more famous when we initially interacted. Then I said, um, if I remember correctly, you didn't know anything about plugin when we spoke about it,
yeah,
right? Then you said, okay, chalo, let's build it. And then you turned that experience into a course,
yes,
right?
yeah.
You build a plugin course, and now people know, like, if somebody has to build a plugin, reach out to Ankur for any questions. So that's what I like from you, because you push it to the edge and make sure you learn every corner of it. Yeah, so I think that's where we got started.
I don't know, but mine is very clear. I don't know. Maybe I should say or not. But when I meet with you on the foundership mentors call and all, I know I need to build something with you. I was very, I was very like I don't know. I will open a company or something like that. We will open a company, but I know I need to collaborate with this person, and I trying to message you, convincing you something like that. So that's what's going on from my point of view. I was very clear about it because why I'm very clear about it, because eventually I know when you collab with the people, you are a two person, not a single person, and you stay motivated for a very long time, like you very long time. It's not like okay, you are alone working on something, and in a like a very lonely environment you are working and all. But when you partner with something, you go for a long. That's I am very clear about this. Second is the way you cut the like a bullshit. Okay, this is the thing I need to do. This is the where we need to reach out. Let's figure out the solution. That's it. I never because I met a lot of people who started a talk about the finance, what is the partnership, what is the what is like how we will build it and all. But I just love the person who focus on execution level and like not talk about the financial and not talk about the like a proper structured way of doing that, but rather doing the things. Because I know in a startup phase or in this environment where we are operating, there's no fixed formula. There is no fixed ladder. Okay, you need to do this, then you need to do this, and then you need to do this. Then you will reach out to that state. This will never be because I can show you a lot of people who are at the age of 18 making a billion-dollar company in India, and I can show you like a lot of people at 40 who started there at 40 and 40, 50, 60, and then they billion-dollar because there is no fix. So both of them, the common thing is execution. They just love the execution, and I like that part about you particularly. Ki. That's why I am very clear. Ki I need to have some partnership with you.
Yeah, and we ended up now partnering together and building a couple of more products, right? Interesting. So yeah, execution, because for me, uh, to be honest, both of us have primary source of income.
Yeah,
Like me, I got into it to become a builder and keep building. So sometime down the line, this materializes and becomes maybe an own product. I don't know when, but
yeah,
in the journey to it,
yeah,
right? So I saw the same thing from you where you wanted to build. Chalo, build. Of course, we need to get better at marketing. Both of us really not
yeah.
good at it. We need to start showcasing more of our work and people know more about it. You're at least much better than me making some videos and putting out there.
No,
I don't do anything.
I
Uh,
recently put a tweet over the Twitter. I just hate the like a video creation steps, and because I don't know, like in a coding or in a when you build a product, you have a very like lots of unfinished work, and because you just like very internally feel like okay, okay, let's try something this, let's try this. You really and you already know this is not going to ship, like this is not going to be live, but to actually do it and all. But I never do this in a like a video editing stuff and all. I never created a video okay just for sake of the creating a video and never post it on the YouTube or something like that because I don't really love the process, but I just love the chatting with a lot of people. That's how
yeah.
I.
Yeah, interestingly, I think I'm in a similar path, but just that I don't keep record of all these conversations, right? I mean, it keeps building the knowledge within me and the work I do, but in terms of preserve, I mean, creating a repository of these interactions and turning them into content where it helps others, which is what I need to get better at. So even when I started working on Integromat, Make, I was building some few. Then I figured out when I build this, if somebody asks me, instead of doing a Zoom call and saying, okay, do this, I create a Loom and send them. Okay, here is how you do it. If it works, use that video to keep sharing with.
Yeah.
I think this needs to be practiced more, so it can turn it into a content actually.
The same thing, if you know, Illy, Baba,
Ellie.
like, yeah, he do like continuously. He just record in the morning and record a video and post on the Twitter. And I think recently he started the YouTube channel, but before that, he just like a Loom guy, record a solution of the problem on the Loom and just so it, like share it with everyone. So
First video on YouTube is not posted by me. It is posted by Mem. You know Mem, right? Mem.ai, note taking platform. So
yeah, yeah,
I did a loom to one of the community members, giving him ways to build integration between Readwise and Mem to import
which one?
book
Which one?
highlights. Uh,
Man.
Readwise and Mem.
Okay, read wise.
Mem
Okay,
is a note taking platform. Readwise is it'll import Amazon Kindle book highlights into Readwise.
okay.
So I did that loom for him, saying how to use API to get the highlights from Readwise into Mem. So you don't manually
Manually do it.
copy and paste into Mem at one go all the highlights in the book. So that one, that I mean, when I sent to one guy, I thought only he is using it. But then the community owner, which is the MEM team, reached out to me saying this is really good. Can you use it to post it on our community YouTube? I said, fine. I'm getting my first YouTube presence with this.
So you are
Yeah,
like an original influencer. like way before. Did you
I don't know. I
charge?
mean,
Have you,
for
did you charge?
men community, yes. If they ask about automations, I think my Loom video still comes up in that Slack channel every now and then. People say I want to integrate with radios, and somebody says, "Okay, here is already done. Take it." That's interesting.
Did you charge the mem?
No, no.
Why?
So this entire no-code journey, I was never with the intention of charging anybody, and my journey was not to
I,
actually.
I have one pick. I have one thing like about it. Like before no code, I was like very what you can say, like very developer focused. Like, do you know like what like typical developer you earning from somewhere like your
Yeah,
job and everything, and everything outside you just give it free. Like
yeah.
even someone reach out that will cost more, like because you know, and you are in very IT industry, you know how costly that become, how can you charge and all. But when I come into the no code industry, like lot of marketer and all, I just feel like, oh, I'm missing a lot money. I can charge this, I can charge this, I can charge this. Like recently I charged tweets. Like I like a tweets for like some
Ah,
organization.
okay. For posting on tweets, okay.
Yeah. And if I don't have a mentality of charging, I will never charge them. If someone reach out to, okay, I will do a tweet for you and I will not charge it. And same way, I started one income source that is not very active, but yeah, it is income source. Uh, that is a I just forget, where people book my time and I give them solution and all. Earlier, I
Coaching.
was a coaching sort of thing. No, not coaching, but I think there's a permanent. I just forget the name of
Okay.
that. No Code Guide. Yeah, No Code Guide
Okay.
is a platform where I help people to give them solution and charge by the minute. But earlier, whenever someone reach out to me, I just give it to the free, like completely free.
The good thing about that, my personal opinion, it may or may not resonate with anyone, but my personal opinion is when I'm learning, I'm still in, I'd say, forever learning mode. But when people reach out to me, if in the community, for example, Adalo community, right? Let's take that 6 months window. After about 45 days, I was able to do pretty much fair, complex stuff in Adalo and consider myself able to build anything in Adalo in whatever limitations they have. People started reaching out to them in the community, and I started answering. Some people texted me saying, "Can you do paid
Paid
gig
pushing, paid
and
pushing.
help me with this?" I mean, I don't know. At that point of time, for some reason, I didn't want it to charge yet, because if I do charge, those requests, the request that comes to me starts getting filtered out. Only people who want to pay will come, right? So that limits the number of questions people ask me. When the number of questions people ask me gets limited, my learning scope starts shrinking, because only people who wants to pay will come to me. I didn't wanted to do that, because I wanted to get fairly better at it. Step one. Step two is use that skills to actually build a product of my own, and in the means maybe earn at a later time, because I have a primary source of income. So that's what my goal was. So until now, I think I charged once, and that was not intentional. I just went ahead and helped one person. It took me about, I think, 45 minutes to complete the entire application over the weekend. But the person was struggling for quite a while. I was not intending to actually charge for it, but the person was insistent. You need to charge. You need to charge. So okay, I said, I mean, whatever is your token amount, just send it so that I can maybe gift it to somebody or buy a gift for my son, kind of thing. So yeah, that's how I charged once for that consulting, because the person was very very insistent that I need to pay you. Tell me, I need to. What is the mode? I'll just pay you, because I don't want to do it for free. So that was only once I charged for this consulting, but no,
I, I have a, like a counter on that thing. I don't know how I will sound it. Like it will like it sounds
It's
like
okay.
I am very money focused person, only
No,
one.
no, I don't think. I mean, this is something I was reading this morning somewhere. I think Derek Sivers' blog or book. When I was reading this morning, it says if you want to charge, charge. Say earning money. Like I said, I am having a primary source of income. So that was not my primary motive to get into this. So it was my motive was to build my own product. So if someone's career is through this consulting, coaching, learning, and helping others, there is no nothing harm in it. Why? I mean, you
Yeah,
don't need to be.
yeah. But I just feel like when you charge, na, like lot of crap, na. Literally, I saw it. Literal lot of crap don't reach out to you. First
I
thing.
agree.
Second is people value more. People
Yeah,
value your time more, like literally more. I saw literally 160-degree change. People, like when I say okay, I charge this much, and I try to be, because sometimes Indian client reach out to me, or like like for I charge bit expensive one, purposely, because I do very very rare right now, like I, you already know my
yeah. The interesting piece is you're right. When you don't charge, everybody starts coming to you with questions, and so I mean you will not have enough bandwidth to do that also. So at some point you need to cut off, right? So one thing which I did to actually protect the time which I'm doing, because I have to build, plus at the same time
yeah.
wherever I have time, help somebody, right? And again have my full-time job. I can't ignore that. I have to focus on that uh, as well. So what I did was previously I used to use Calendly or cal.com, and say every day I put out my 1 hour time if somebody wants to book for consulting or questions and so on, so I can help them. And in return put those questions back in the forum, and it helps others also. But I stopped doing that. Glad I did that, because now before there was no that 1 hour which I put every day was blocked completely. So even if I want to do something on my own, I didn't have the time, and it was completely blocking my time. And it's free time, free 1 hour going away every day 9 p.m. Singapore time after my dinner. So 9 to 10, two calls, 30 minutes each, was going away just like that. So I didn't have. I could have built something in this 1 hour instead of wasting this time. And then some of the questions are just, I want to know how you started. What the hell? Uh, and somebody says, I'm struggling with this, but when something, but when you get into the details, basically they don't have anything, blank screen, and they have an idea saying, I want to build this, show me how.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into this. So that's when I said, okay, remove Calendly, no more scheduling. Reach out to me on my email, or Twitter DM or wherever it is. If I am interested, if I understand your problem, I'll reply. If not, I'll just ignore. But then I'll keep building. So that's why that's really is now making me protect my time, and then I can focus more on building. And of course, we both interact a lot. We have enough problems to solve, so we interact a lot and then
Yeah,
keep.
so that same, like I do a free stuff, like people reach out to me in the Twitter DM or like emails. I help it, but you know, like literally people just email how to integrate the Google Calendar. Like how I can on earth is can answer their query. I literally not able to understand it, because Google Calendar, if you are going with the API route, it takes 1.5 year, half hour minimum, bare minimum, and people are not ready to pay it. So there's a, and okay, not pay, ready for pay. Just Google it. This is a very good tutorial on YouTube. Like literally, I can just search on the YouTube Google Calendar and bubble.io. You will get a 3 to 4 good tutorial out of it, and they really from the Bubble expert. People are
Yeah,
not going to search it and then expect you reply. I can't really help them. I just don't reply. I know sometimes people see this is very arrogant and something like that, but I leave it there.
actually, it's not arrogant to be honest, because to ignore those. So they'll try once, twice, thrice, and then they'll. asking.
People just put a high in a Twitter. I just think that
But those
literally.
ones I just delete. I don't even say reply. When they say hi, I just delete, not even reply hi. There's no
Like,
point.
I used to do it. Like literally, I used to do it the same. Like I think 2 3 years back. But eventually, I realized, okay, here's the problem. Like when I am reach out to someone, I he don't know me. If I just state my problem, maybe he will reply me. So
Yeah.
I think people should also learn it. Okay. Yeah. What next? I think
Yeah.
we are going.
Let's talk about what is team visual and how did we
Yeah.
get started and one of the recent experiments we did.
Sure. Okay. Before moving forward about the team visual, because we recently registered the company in team visual, but before even registering, we have done a lot of experiment. I think so, and we never registered or something like that. We just doing on a personal basis, and that's it. So I just want to highlight this thing, like before finding, like it's sort of a co-founder thing, like instead of directly registering the company and because registering company takes money, take responsibility and all, try to figure out like, is Bhanu good for me, or like for Bhanu point of view, is Ankur good for him, because you will end up spending a lot of time together, and if both are not very liking each other, then it is waste of time for each other.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're not compatible to work with each other, that will cause a lot of issues, right? I mean, that's why I mean, good that now we launched Team Visual, but then it the decision to launch Team Visual came only after spending at least 1 year of time together, building
Yeah,
multiple problems, solving some of the ideas together, and even getting paid for a couple of them prior. And one very good thing that happened to us, in my view, is whenever we picked up a problem, whether it is monetizing problem or non-monetizing problem, we were really focused on how to solve that problem.
right.
Then figure out, I mean, if you can solve, then if we monetize, then figure out how to actually
Motivate.
use that.
Yeah,
Before that, I mean, I mean, specifically the outside example, I don't really talked about money at all. You're
yeah.
just saying, okay, let's build this plugin.
I think
If it
that was
works
our
out,
very last phase when we already done some everything. Now plugin is ready and everything. Now let's talk about the money part.
yeah, and that's a good thing. I mean, I think there is some vibes there, maybe, which connects, which brought us to this stage now. Uh, I mean, work together first. Eventually, things can fall in place. Figure out.
Okay, what is the future of Team Visual, and what is the people can see from the Team Visual? Is it like freelancing company? Is it like what exactly the Team Visual is?
No way. I mean, when I say no way, a freelancing company. I don't want to get into that, to be honest. And I know you don't want to get into that as well.
But
Team
it's a good money.
visual.
There's a lot of good money. Why you are saying no to that? No to that?
No, I mean, freelancing for me doesn't work out primarily because I have enough ideas to build. Number one. Number two is I'm very focused on saving as much time as possible. So if I take up freelancing projects, the time it gets takes a lot of time. So there's also famous Twitter thing that goes on: detach your time from money. Right. So that's the thing. The idea is to build products. So I mean, well, team visual basically is bu- build multiple micro products without worrying about monetization to begin with. Keep building, find problems, build a solution, put it out there. Works fine, doesn't work fine, right? So, and as you know, like out of 100 startups, maybe 90, 80, or even 100 fail sometimes for in the general market. So we are in that mode. Just keep building small ideas, put it out in the market. If it clicks, start incrementing on top of it. If it doesn't click, put it aside, move on to the next idea, and so on, so on.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. Whether monetizing eventually comes, but idea is to protect our time and keep building on ideas without worrying about any overhead in terms of time and other things.
Okay, one thing I think we have talked about that too. When you say okay, you will going for the equity thing, or you will saying revenue thing, people don't generally trust because for them we are just a random two guy who is working, who just started 2 year back, no code stuff, and why will they trust us?
They don't have to. It's fine. I mean, if they trust, it's a see. The basically, if you do freelancing, they pay you X amount of 3 months of work, 6 months of work, 1 year of work, and after that, it's gone. It's good for many people who wants to do freelancing, wants to have recurring income. For me or for you, as you discussed, the idea is to build small business portfolios under Team Visual, whether it is our own products or whether it is somebody else's product. We become partner as a technology partner to deliver the solution, right? So now, why do they have to trust? I mean, there is no reason to be honest. If they don't trust, fine. It doesn't work out. We don't want to work. The idea is for us. If we like the idea and we see a potential, we are out there saying, okay, we will help you build the platform,
Right.
right? Don't pay us. Pay us in the form
Yes,
of
in the
equity.
equity.
Yeah, pay us in the form of equity or revenue share in the companies one in the product once it launches. Because this does two things. One is it gives us enough skin in the game to put our heart into the product. Otherwise, it will be the guy asks us to build and we build without assessing market, without interacting with the customers, and without knowing anything, and then we don't know whether it will work or not. We might get our will not be doing the right justice to the person. If we partner with them, we can question saying, see, we have equity in this, we have our skin in the game in this. Tell me why you think this
Work out.
feature should be added or why this change should be included. Where is it helping? We can go deep into that and make sure we discuss properly and put out a product which really is to our liking and also which benefits both the actual founder, and us in the startup.
Right. Okay, and what sort of project we are doing right now? Can we talk about
Ah,
it?
we will eventually, but right now, maybe we can briefly talk about an experiment we did recently, and
Yeah,
maybe the another
yeah,
experiment
yeah.
that we're going to launch soon. So
Hopefully.
the experiment is without divulging too much into details because product is yet to be launched in a couple of weeks time. Maybe in the next video we can actually show briefly the product and
Yeah.
talk about it. But for now, the idea is
The experiment was like the
yeah,
experiment.
the experiment was and the result.
Yeah.
The experiment was some random person puts a request for a developer
Full
on
stack
LinkedIn,
developer.
full stack developer on LinkedIn, not no code developer.
Yeah.
Okay, for his side project. So the basically the quote unquote the message says looking for a full stack developer as a part-time gig, work from anywhere in the world, nothing
Correct.
else.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I wanted to check on what it is. Then I texted him saying, "Hey, are you open to discuss about this idea? Maybe I can help you with no code and see where it goes." The reply is, "No, no, I'm looking for a full stack developer, but here is the idea. Here's the link that is already launched. Here is the idea. Go through it and we'll talk again." I say, "Oh, okay, this one." I say, "Okay, let's talk once. I might be able to help you find a full stack developer." The guy says, "Okay, let's talk. I'll explain you the idea. Please help me find a developer." And he explains the idea. I say, "Give me 4 to 5 days time. Let me find somebody someone from a network who can do a freelancing or who can be a
The
part-time.
interesting thing that you missed out, you went up over the call with him to
Yeah.
understand how
So
exactly the
on that
framework works.
call, he explains the idea, what is the workflow and so on, because I need to talk to the developer, right? If I have to find a developer, I need to explain what the code is already done, what needs to be maintained and so on. So I asked him, please explain the idea so I can see if I can find. Now that I know the workflow, the idea is trying to build, and then it was on a Thursday, so I asked for like 4 or 5 days to find out if anyone is willing to do. Then put on the code. It doesn't take too long to build this in no code. Okay, let's talk to Ankur. Okay, Ankur, here is the idea. I have some itch here. What do you think of building this over the weekend, live in 2 to 3 hours? Send it, record a loom and send to the guy. If he likes it, then let's replace his code with no code.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you accepted to say, okay, let's take up the challenge. Let's build it. Even if it doesn't accept, let's scrap it and move on to the next one. Then on Saturday, we
My
sacrifice.
my it was like recently buy that made with the frame uh, suppressor, and I really want to put it test. Like it's literally possible to build an application in like, because I'm not very time person. Very like, okay, you will say make it do this in the 2 hours, and my like no, I will always mess up. But if you say do it, I can do it that. But I don't want to put the time limit over that. But at the time, I just want to try. Okay, is it possible with the made with frames and all?
Yeah. So he said, let's do it. We sat on it on Saturday for 2 hours and then Sunday maybe 1 hour, 3 hours.
Yeah, 1.5 hours.
3.5 hours. We did a loom. I sent it on Sunday night. Monday morning, I get a message saying, hey, let's meet for coffee and discuss about this. This is
Yeah.
great. Fantastic. Into a collaboration now. The product will be launching soon. We'll shortly, soon when it is launched, we'll share it maybe in the next video or through a tweet what the product is. But yeah, the product is going live. Glad that it worked out. And we are going to do a similar experiment again on a different idea soon.
Yes. I think yesterday we have talked about it. I just want to be before this call. I just want to be talk about that thing. I just forgot. Like we have talked yet. We have talked about the yesterday some ideas and all. Okay, we will
Yeah.
talk about this that after this call definitely. Okay, I think we should wrap up this session. And
Yep.
before wrapping up, there is a 3 to 4 questions are there. All are related to bubble. Should we?
Let's quickly check what those are. I
Okay.
think
Yeah,
one
Narayan
from
was
Narayan talking about integrating SMTP into the.
so basically email setup so that you can send mail, receive mail directly by the bubble. You don't have to open your own mail client basically, be it Gmail, Outlook, or something like that. Is it possible?
It 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 definitely is possible. I mean, to be honest, I don't know much about SMTP, how it works. Of course, you can connect them to different mail clients and so on. That I did, but Bubble to a mail client, I haven't done, but I'm sure it is possible because most of the applications I use have a dedicated email created when you create an account. Like for example, Kindle gives you a dedicated email. When you forward anything to that email, it loads into your Kindle. So there is something that we can
But I
explore in
think
that
there is
area.
a already pre-made service for this sort of a thing. Already there's a couple of startup who is doing this sort of a thing. You just need to integrate these into Bubble. I didn't remember correctly because one of my coaching clients reached out to me, similar problem, same setup and everything, and I suggested him 2 or 3 tools, and they all have a API available. One of them have a SDK available, so that we can set up a Java Bubble plugin and integrate by that. So I
I
think
think
it's
there is one more the very old software now. There, it was a desktop-based software ticketing system. which is called osticket.com. It supports email based ticketing system. I think now they launched web service also. Maybe connecting that will solve the problem as well.
Right. Because all the newer ticketing solution like Crips, Intercom, you get an email literally, कि, okay, this is the chat, this is the reply from one of the people, and when you reply directly on that, your message sent to that person, and
Yeah.
it is happening via the CRM. So, like, something is possible directly integrate the CRM into the bubble and something like that.
For communication wise, yes, you can use crisp chat also, where somebody sends a message on your website chat, you'll receive it as an email, and when you reply it as an email, it'll go into both in the chat and email also, depending on where the customer is active. But if you're talking about specifically to integrate with your business flow, maybe creating a quotation or creating something like that, then it probably requires review. We can explore probably and do a video on this sometime down the line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's a very recurring request. I think we. Okay, the next question is, okay, this is the one the learn company wants you to are okay. The question is, are there any plugin available to enable discussion forum like channel clubs? We have tried working repeating group inspiring from the WhatsApp clone on Bubble, but it's a lot buggy with the last message are not displayed, etc. and all. So some sort of a bubble forum or some sort of a like a Discord community. Like I think combination of bubble forum plus Discord community, something like that.
And I mean, possible.
Tempted to do it
But
by the circle, na? But circle already have some everything.
yeah, I mean, if the so there are two things here, right? One is build an entire discussion forum in Bubble,
Yeah,
or bring the content of discussion forum into Bubble. So if you're talking about building an entire discussion forum in Bubble, you can do. I mean, I don't think probably it can be answered within this call.
yeah.
It's more like, but if you are trying to bring the discussion forums content into the bubble, you can use iframe. So that's like Circle and other community platforms. You can have your entire community there, discussions there, and you can use iframe to embed that. The open discussions directly in the bubble one of the pages so people can directly browse here.
Or much simple. Have a Discord community, like have a circle community set up on the custom domain and just connect with the bubble community. That's it.
Yeah,
No iframe, nothing like that. And
just say community dot your
yeah,
domain dot com and redirect to circle finish.
that's it. Simple. You don't
We did that. We did that for a couple of companies already. So even for foundership, we had the circle community previously. It was redirected through using
right.
bubble authentication redirected to circle.
Okay, next question is from the Vishal. He's asking how you scope projects, insight on career in no code, specifically bubble, difference between Indian client and other world client.
How we use scope projects. So I think he's talking specifically about freelancing, but to be honest, I don't have any experience on freelancing. You can talk about it.
Okay, so my so I think I don't know I should talk about it or not because recently I took a freelancing project and it like literally failed miserably. That was actually like a 1 week task and convert into 4 months of task on and off.
Oh, okay.
So that is a big failure on my part. So I don't think I should a right person to talk about it.
But sorry, I mean, Vishal, maybe we don't have enough experience to talk about freelancing scope projects. But from a personal product management or project management experience, what I would say is uh, maybe you should have an end-to-end understanding of what the project is and document those, uh, break that into individual milestones, and then try to assess on each milestone level how much time approximately it is going to take. So you might get a variance of 30% to begin with, but over a period of time, you'll start narrowing down that variance and come closer to the assessment. And then when you, in terms of scoping, use that assessment to say, okay, this is how much time it is going to take, and this is how much I'm going to charge hour. It's up to you. Are you going to charge by project or are you going to charge by hour? That you can decide. Yeah, sorry, we may not, we did not, probably did not answer your question, but that's what we have. Insight on career in no code, specifically Bubble. First, first and foremost, my feedback on this is build a career in no code, not specifically in Bubble. I know Ankur will disagree with this, but build a career in no code. Why? Okay, maybe let me rephrase. Start with a no code platform. Maybe it is Bubble, maybe it is Adalo, maybe it is Glide, whatever that is. Get deep enough into it, right? Once you get enough clarity or enough knowledge in it to build projects to its limits, you will be forced to expand beyond the platform. Like we talked about Xano at the beginning, then we are actually now using CSS, style sheets, HTML, so many other additions on top of Bubble or any other platform that you use. That will like increase your niche offering as a person. So just get deep into it is one my suggestion. One of my suggestions. The second suggestion from me is spend enough time in the forum like a spectator and try to see problems which challenges you and maybe answer them in the forum. That way you'll start assessing others problems with from that bubble point of view and get an understanding of it. And as you start posting more and more, these learnings will help you collect enough knowledge for you to build other projects, because most of the questions are repetitive, applied in different use cases, but they're repetitive.
Okay, I have a couple of thought about on this topic. First of all, understand there is a lot of opportunity right now for a bubble developer. So if someone feel like there is not lack of opportunity, there is a pay is low, you are 100% wrong. Either you have not learned the bubble or you are not hanging out with the right kind of people on Twitter or something somewhere. Second is pay. Pay is very good from an Indian point of view. From a like a very good experienced guy who is earning in India, you can start very well. Like even in India, if you have a 3 to 4 experience in IT, you easily like work around 12 lakhs, 1 lakh rupees per month or so. But in no code, specifically on the bubble, you can earn much more than that. That is very cleared out. If you are if you feel like you cannot and you are not earning, either you are not doing things right or you are not reaching the right kind of people. Second is
I think on that note, there is one point is um, people, I see most of the freelancing guys who are initially getting into this feel that they need to charge less to get more clients. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Keep your
essay,
and
just
if you
request, don't do this.
yeah, if
Don't
you
do.
think you can deliver the project, charge what it is worth. Don't underestimate your contribution.
Yeah.
When you charge less, you'll get silly stuff. When you charge more, the quality of your contribution, you're raising your bar one to deliver the quality, and even the request that comes to you will come with quality.
Or I have a second, one more opinion is don't try to work 160 hours in a month. Try to work 80 hours and maximize the earning from it. Like if you are earning 100 dollar per hour, try to maximize the 150. Try to maximize 200, but only on that 80 hour. On the 80 hour, learn only learn. That's it. Because the time you spend more on learning, your wage start more like your payment got like you can ask more money and all because that 80 hours that you are learning you spend on the bubble forum. You try to solve the complex problem that you can't do on your freelancing job because at a freelancing job you need to be very quick at your job, and you have to be quick with the solutions that you come up with, because nobody going to pay you premium for a like if you are not doing very good job. So focus on the quality you are putting it, and also the side by side learning. Because I saw a lot of people, they start earning a very good money, but they stop complete their learning and all. They just focus on the money that coming, not on the learning part. Spend time lot on forum, spend time with the right kind of people, because that way you will have a lot of complex project to work on. Try to take a problem like something like, okay, how to build a Airbnb, actual Airbnb, not the template Airbnb, but actual Airbnb, and launch it, so that you will understand how concurrent user thing work out, how the privacy rules work out, how that how you manage the CPU, when actually you need to use the backend workflow, when you don't need to call the backend workflow, when you need to the workflow, what is the client side, what is the server side, how to build the plugin. So that way. And third thing is, I know Bhanu has already told you, but bubble is going to be stay here. Even if you just focus on the bubble, and literally, like right now, like not lot of thing happened in the bubble. You really don't know any person or two person who is very good with the bubble SEO, and people are ready to pay you like literally anything. I recently I was searching for the bubble security guy who audited the bubble app from a security point of view. There is no person. Literally, there is a zero person out there. This thing. So, and eventually you need to learn JavaScript, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. That you have to very good with it. If you are very good with this three thing, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and bubble, I can easily say you are going to be relevant in next 3 years easily, because bubble is not going. Even bubble founders feel like, okay, I'm not going to build it. Okay, मेरा हो गया, मेरे को वो kick नहीं आ रही and all. But their investor will take some founders, or like many people are ready to join them as a CEO and all. That product will go on, go on, go on. It will never going to be okay. One day news comes out and you feel like, okay, bubble founders never feel like they need innovation, or they just want to step out and everything. So that's why I feel like I have a very strong like a feel ki, okay, bubble is going to be there, but the real question is, are you going to be relevant for a 2 years or 3 years? Because you feel like it is a no code. It is not a no code. It's a drug for the coding stuff. You eventually have to learn HTML,
I think
CSS, JavaScript, and all, like in depth, literally in depth. And I just feel like it is very starting. But when actual people come, developer comes out on the platform with their with no bias, no biases and all, then the game will be like a very tough, very competitive stuff. Right now, it's very easy to get a gigs and all, but in future, it's going to be very tough. So that's where I think you stand out.
I think yesterday I put out a tweet saying no code is a path to code for me
Yeah.
because I was not able to do code previously, but and now after building enough no code, I think I'm starting to get hang of code as well. So yeah, if I
It
can
is.
code,
It is literally. It is.
yeah.
It is. Okay. Next one is difference between Indian clients and other world clients. I have a
I
very biased
okay, go on,
opinion.
go.
Go. You go. After that, I will go.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, uh, okay. I think one difference which I saw is I wouldn't say Indian or other world clients, but maybe two different clients. One who thinks no code is cheap, one who thinks no code can build. So no code, the platform is cheap, not the resource. So when somebody thinks the resource is cheap in no code, run. Don't
That's
work
all.
with them. Don't work with them.
Yeah.
How much ever lucrative that is, don't work with them. No point. It will you'll not be able to build stuff. I mean, you'll not be satisfied. When people believe that you can deliver in no code their product, work with them. Even if the pay is less, work with them. So,
I have a similar opinion. I just want to put in the Indian client or like outside client. Find the people who trust you, like literally who trust this person is can build my product. He can be from India, he or she can be from India, he or she can be from outside of India. Does not really matter. It's matter when you're talking about the people and you need to convince them for the no code. You don't want to work for them because they always have a question of the, they always have a self doubt, they always have a doubt in the future also. Okay, for example, you stuck, like you are working with them 6 months and you after 6 months you stuck with something. Okay, they just can't do in the no code, and then they start giving you like a very wrong vibes and all everything. Okay, I know there are going to be happen because you are doing everything in the no code. No code sucks, no code can't have a very scalable approach and all. But you need a people who actually support you. Okay, it is not happening in no code. Can we try a code way? Do you know someone who can do in the code way, or do you want to take some time and figure out that how that can be do in the code no code way? So that sort of a people always work for the people who trust you rather than who always question you. And the problem with the who question you, I understand from where they are coming and all this. They don't pay you that much. I that are very basic. The person who trusts you, they pay a good and also on time. In freelancing, people don't generally pay on the like on time or something like that. But if person is trusting you, he will pay you on time or even before even starting the project.
okay.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think this is the first video.
Yeah. How you guys like the first video of it? Like, and we are planning to go like every month, sort of a monthly call, right, Banu?
Yeah, monthly. I think eventually we'll get a live stream. Maybe what we'll do is we'll start collecting questions, and for some, we might build it and live and show you, or maybe some we already build it and demo you how that can be done. So you can send us questions upfront. Uh,
Or
then
we will maybe if allow we will show you our product also, like how we will build, what is our approach of building the product, and what we will do before even finalizing any product, and what is the real discussion going on with the client. Okay, how we convince them to go for the equity thing and all, because I just feel like not very less content available on the internet for this kind of stuff. And second is we are open for your feedback or suggestion what we you want. We don't want to keep this very bubble focus or like very, we just want to focus it more on a like a building a side,
yeah, so
not very
build software without code.
with a
Maybe
build,
bubble, maybe not bubble, but build.
build or like talk about the things that how the negotiation happen, because Banu is pretty good with it, good with that. I'm very bad at with how the negotiation things happen and all. So all this is stuff behind the scene of everything, but we just want to be like a share your feedback, like that matters more.
Perfect.
Okay,
Awesome. Thanks, Ankur.
bye
Let's
bye.
do it again. See you soon. Take care.